Village of Holly Parks meeting for March 1st, 2023 at 7 o'clock p.m. at Richter Center. I call this meeting to order. Let's pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving on to roll call, please.
Peltonen,
Here.
McCanny, Hutchins,
Here.
Summers,
Here.
Kyer,
Here.
Cole.
Here.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to excuse Sarah McKinney from tonight's meeting.
I will second that.
No, you have to move it.
Oh, I will move to excuse Commissioner McCanny from the meeting tonight.
Second? Anybody got a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. At this time, I would like to thank Katrina Berger for her time she served on our Parks Board here. And at this time, I would also like to welcome Shannon Cole to our board.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
We're excited to have you. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to agenda changes. For approval of the agenda, does anybody have any additions or deletions from the agenda that's presented tonight?
Joe, can we add number 6 under old business budget?
Okay. Is that it?
That's all I have.
I would entertain a motion to add to the agenda for old business item 6 to tonight's agenda. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I will make a motion to put in the budget talks under old business, item number 6.
I'll second.
We got a second?
You got it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I did want to note here at the bottom, it says the next meeting is April 1st. I know it says on here, discussion of meeting schedule under general business. I don't know if that's involved in that because the 1st is like a
Oh,
Saturday.
you're right, yep. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Oh, you didn't know we changed the meetings to Saturday?
No, thank you. So I
I'm
don't know
with you on that one.
I'd make a motion to maybe change it to what would that be, the 5th?
The 4th. Or the 5th, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, it would be the
4th.
5th.
Yeah, the 5th.
So I would like to make a motion at the bottom to move the next regularly scheduled meeting from April 1st to April 5th.
Support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's move on to approval of the minutes for February 1st, 2023. Everybody have a chance to look through the minutes? And is there any changes, additions, or deletions, or corrections to the minutes as presented?
I didn't notice anything wrong with them.
If not, I would entertain a motion.
A motion to accept the minutes
As presented.
as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion.
Anybody second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Public comment not related to the agenda. Members of the public can address the commission once recognized by the chairperson. Comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes. Commissions may enter at this time by adding 4 minutes by a majority vote. For items on the agenda, comments may be made after commission discussions prior to the commission vote. Prior to addressing commission members to the public shall state their name, address for the record.
Standing room only.
Oh, seeing none, no public comment, we'll move on to old business. Item 1, spring cleanup.
I think last meeting we set the date and then there's a walkthrough the week before. So I didn't know if we wanted to just make sure Shannon's aware of the dates.
We set a date for spring cleanup, April 15th.
19, was it?
15th.
15th?
Yes, the 15th. And then the walkthrough we have scheduled for March 19th.
19th, yep.
And the ASP people who we asked for 20 people from the ASP, and they are trying to provide us help in spring cleanup.
Have they come up with a number yet?
I said 20, so, but he approved it.
And that's for the April cleanup, right? Not through the not for the March walkthrough, just for the April.
Spring cleanup,
Yep, okay.
right?
Any questions?
So the March walkthrough, what time is that? It's a Sunday, so
Yeah, let me
Usually 10 o'clock.
double check.
in the morning.
I
It's
think
either
I have
9 or
it set.
10, I can't remember what you guys said.
Good, I just don't want to miss it.
I just had that.
Yeah, I don't have it set as a time.
It's at noon.
Noon?
March 19th.
Where would we meet?
We are meeting at Waterworks.
Waterworks.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Sure.
I know Sarah talked about in her little addition that we got today, she had shared the park cleanup day as an event on, I know the open discussion page, and so she was asking if we could all maybe put it on our Facebook pages or just talk to our friends about it and share it a little bit more. I know I'm willing to share that on the other Holly pages as well. I think, at least once a week up to there, it might get us more people.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions or comments for the spring cleanup?
Have we reached out to the schools for volunteers?
No, but that was an idea that has definitely come up, that, yeah, a lot of like the National Honor
They have
Society
an outdoor club
They're
at
looking for
Holly
and just
School.
juniors in general, they
Yeah.
need community hours
Yeah.
for showing the college.
Also along with the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
Yeah, Boy Scouts. Yeah.
And don't forget the 4-H'ers.
I'm a 4-H'er, so.
Yeah,
I'm all
there you
about that.
Okay. Okay, any other further questions or comments? Let's move on to item 2, the Ganshaw H.
Yes. So I'm taking that over. I just talked to Jennifer literally right before I came in here. We just talked about the different flowers that she usually plants and talks about maintenance. She did mention the soil out there is kind of bad.
It's on our, we're gonna add some peat moss and add some more topsoil to it.
Okay.
Turn it over and add some more to it. I did talk to her when I got her number from her.
Right.
So you're still planning using the same type of flowers?
Yeah, yep, she
Good.
said geranium, no,
Begonias,
begonias, there you go.
green leaf begonias.
Exactly, yep. Very important for green leaf, yep.
And she was going to give me the number of flats, and Halls provides those for us. So I talked to them today, we're dropping the flower pots off for downtown tomorrow there, so I will give him a number of flats, and then when we're ready to plant, we just.
Okay, yeah, that's what her and I were talking about. She usually plants, she said, a little bit before Memorial Day, so
Yeah,
that's what we'll plan on.
okay.
Okay, any further questions about the Ganshaw H? Let's move on to item 3, National Fitness Campaign.
Well, we had a presentation on that, Joe, I don't know, were you here for that? For the presentation when we did the Zoom meeting?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Staff is recommending that we not apply for the 23 grant cycle, but the 24. That way we'll have a better idea of where the village offices are going to end up, because
Right.
staff felt the consensus from the board was that if we ended up at 504.5, that would probably be a nice enhancement to that park, along with the new village offices being there. So, and we were looking at partnering maybe with some other people or vendors or something to get some more grant money in that, so that, the least amount that the village would have to spend would be spent for that project. So we're looking at the 24 grant cycle instead of the 23 grant cycle, if that's the consensus of the board, because I know that the consensus before was to go along with, they pretty much thought 504.5 would be the ideal
Do
place.
you need a
for us.
motion on that?
No, just as long as the consensus stays the same, then that's what we'll just keep, we'll keep it on the back burner, and once we,
Is- What's,
once-
what's everybody's consensus?
That sounds
I
like a good
agree.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
okay,
Okay, Brian?
all right.
Okay, let's move on to item 4, the master plan.
Staff was planning on having a presentation, but we're still waiting on some information from one Parks Commissioner.
Yeah, for me. I gotta- Sorry. I was hoping he would be here today, but I'll call him.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, yeah, once he gets that information, then we can have a
Okay.
presentation, and
I
then
can
we can
just-
move forward with the input, and then go from there.
So at this time, we can table this master plan
Yeah,
discussion.
we'll just table it till next month, and then,
Okay.
like I said, we can have a presentation as soon as we get all the information, and then Parks can review it, and then approve it, then it'll get approved by council, and then we'll have a master plan again for another 5 years.
I'll make a motion to table the master plan discussion and decisions to next month. Does anybody want to support that?
I'll support it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's move on to 5. Installing of
Wi-Fi and stuff.
hi-fi water gauge at the Waterworks Park.
I know there was a presentation last month, and then there was also a presentation to the DDA. DDA, they have mixed feelings about support on it. From a staff perspective and dealing with some of these monitors on the wastewater side and the water side, $1,500 a year seems expensive, where if they had a program where we paid for like service or, for software upgrades or support for that, but $6,000 over a 4-year period, you can buy a lot of your own sensors and just replace them versus, and I think the consensus of the board was that if it was a 4-way split, that they were
Yeah.
interested in it, but it sounds like the DDA is not totally on board, and we haven't heard anything back that I know of from Mr. Losing about they were looking at a quarter of it too, so I would recommend just tabling this until
Yes.
we
Okay.
get more information, or somebody steps up and says, hey, we're gonna,
Well, I thought he said he was going to present to the township parks and then to the township as well, because that'll technically where we were
Right,
talking
right.
about them, they will
Yeah,
reside in the
it was
township,
supposed to be
so.
our DDA, the Chamber of Commerce, the township, and then they were looking at a grant overall, the Headwaters Trail.
Right.
So there would have been, 4 or 5 government entities
Yeah.
or people involved in it, so the cost would have been substantially less than the $1,500 a year.
Right.
And I thought, the consensus of the board was that would be a lot more
Yeah.
palatable than the whole $1,500. So
Yeah.
until all those parties either get presented or somebody comes back and says, okay, we're gonna donate, we know what kind of money there is, then
Right.
I would just table it until then.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to table this
I'll second it.
installation of the water gauge to further notice. I'll make that motion. Anybody want to make a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, we got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, moving on to number 6, the budget.
Oh, yep, forgot.
I had my first round of meetings with Jerry Walker, and then turned it in, and we've the first presentation, or the first, is $15,000 to $20,000 for parks for projects, and I know I think there was some preliminary discussion, but if everybody for the next meeting wants to bring back like their top 3, then the board can vote on those, and then we can look at what we have, and then Amber, you'll be involved in the
Right, the budgeting
the
process.
budgeting
yeah.
process, so you can champion more or less.
Yeah. More.
So that will give you an idea, but that's where we preliminary looking at, and then I'll give some updates during the reports about this year's budget and where we're at with some of that money, so.
Are we gonna get the pavilions for the cement slabs there?
They are at Sam's Club again. I've seen them both in Flint and at Grand Blanc. I'm checking with Debbie to see what money we have in this year's budget left,
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
we'll work on it from there, so.
Okay.
While we're discussing the budget, should I read in what Sarah has in here? Some of it's budgetary, or should we just interject her document into our minutes?
I would just put it in the minutes, and then next month, like I said, if everybody brings like their top
Yeah.
3 choices,
Yep.
and then as a commission comes to a consensus of the top 3 they want,
Yep.
or any 1 or 2 that are in that top
Yeah.
range, you know, that whatever money's there, and if there's more money there, then maybe at the next meeting we can add, you know, or once the budget's approved, then you can always add projects, but it's easier to have a goal of, hey, this is what we want to do as a number 1 or number 2 priority, and we have the money available for that, and then staff can work to get that done.
Yeah, and that way we don't have to rehash her interjections on the budget and
Right,
stuff.
she can
Right,
just.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, we don't
Yeah.
want to not wasting time reading it, but yeah, she'll be here next month to
Yes,
speak.
yeah.
So, we have to have a motion to table this to further, to next month, or just?
No, we'll just keep it under old business, and like I
Okay.
said, if everybody can bring, you know,
Okay.
even if they only have 1, that's fine, but, you know, if you have a couple, then bring those, and then
Yeah.
as a consensus, the board can decide which ones they want to do, and staff can work on
Yeah, okay,
finding the money for it.
let's move into general business.
New business.
The Bird Walk. Chris?
Yeah, I would like to have a bird walk at one of the parks, probably the first one Lakeside. And basically, all I need is publicity, help with the village, maybe the email, and then Sarah's not here, but she could,
Well,
Help me
she
with the
just made
Facebook.
she made me a co-admin for that.
okay,
So,
yeah, so just with the, getting the word out to people, and I'll give you more details about, how to write it up.
Yeah, if you pick a date,
Yeah,
then
I was thinking April 22nd, which happens to be, I would like some input, better Saturday, better Sunday, anybody. But late April is usually a pretty good time to have them because there's usually some pretty good things on Bush Lake then. So I was just checking my records today, and yeah, late April, and then maybe, we'll see how it goes, maybe have it kind of be a regular thing. Maybe especially like during migration, have a couple, and then maybe bounce around to each park, or just have it at a different park each time we do one. And then maybe partnering with the township, because Sorensen's a good place to go also. So, yeah, I think it would be, people that I know in the birding wheel had bugged me about doing something like this, so I said, okay. So, and hopefully I can get some binoculars for people that don't have them. It's really all you need. And your body. Cell phones are really nice nowadays too. They help.
To comment for the township parks, we used to have a birding time every year.
Right?
What is the National Audubon Society? I think they tie it into every year at a certain time too, up around here.
Yeah, there's one, it's called the Big Day. It's like May 9th or something, whatever that second Saturday in May is where Cornell Lab wants everybody to get out, and they kind of partner with Audubon, and that would be a good day to do one too.
Yeah, I think that would tie it in so there'd be an actual calendar day for that.
Right,
You know, so
okay, we can do that, yeah.
That we can help them out,
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll do it
And
then.
I think the township used to have like 5 pairs of binoculars. I'll check on
Oh my
that.
goodness, yeah,
For bird watcher
right,
ones, yeah.
okay.
So I'll check on that.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, and as I said, I'll give you more details, Chris. You can, the emails you send out to people, and then whoever likes to do Facebook, maybe you can help me on that too.
Yeah,
So I don't do Facebook too much, but I have been on there before.
Any questions for Chris on bird watching day?
No, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think it would.
Okay.
Thank
I don't think we have to make a motion on that. We'll just,
no, once he gets more information, then we'll
yeah,
just keep.
then we'll make
Yeah, well-
a big announcement.
Yeah, I'll get you more details next meeting
Okay, thanks a lot, Chris.
after I call Nick.
Any other questions for Chris? Okay, let's move on to item 2 on general business. Discussion of meeting schedule.
The meeting schedule, the only change in it is it's been set for, it's still gonna stay in the same first Wednesday of the month, but HCC has moved their time up from 7 to 6. So staff wanted to offer that to all the commissions if they wanna change their time from 7 to 6, so they get an earlier start. They're not here as late, so if the consensus of the board is to change the time, then you'd vote on that, and we would get the time changed on the meeting or send out a notice that the meeting's been changed.
What is the ACC?
6 o'clock, or I'm sorry, Historical District Commission.
Oh,
So they're gonna start meeting at 6 instead of 7.
okay.
So if the staff wanted to offer that up to all the commissions, if they want to change, move their meeting time up earlier, so.
Discussion of the board, 6 or 7,
I don't know.
whatever works for,
Don't
what's
forget.
best for everybody. I'm retired, so. Yeah,
6 o'clock
You-
works for me. Does it work for everybody else?
pardon?
I would like to go to 6 o'clock and then be able to get out earlier.
Okay, I'm in.
What's the consensus? How about you, Gail?
All right, 6.
We'll try out 6?
Okay, well, I'll let Debbie know, and she'll get the change, and then we'll get the notifications out, and we'll just plan on the April meeting starting at 6.
April 6th, okay, starting with the April meeting.
Do we need a motion on that?
Yeah, if you make a motion, so.
I entertain a motion to move our scheduled start time for the first Wednesday of the month from 7 o'clock down to 6 o'clock PM. I entertain that motion. Anybody want to make it?
Yes, I will make the motion to move our meeting schedule from 7 PM to 6 PM, moving forward as of April 5th.
Looking for support?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Let's get down to item 3 here. Information on legalities of social media.
In your packet, there was an article from the MML magazine, and it just discusses, there's, with the increase in use of social media, some of the legalities and questions and concerns that as a elected official or appointed official, what you should and should not, do. So it's just a good informational for you to take a look at. If you have questions, and you can ask staff about it, or we can refer it to, legal counsel if you want to. But it's just an informational thing, because I know there's, a lot of information that goes on social media that may or may not be accurate. So
Yeah.
this way, this avoids any kind of confusion coming from, a public or appointed official. So,
I would strongly suggest everybody to study this very closely and get the do's and the don'ts about the legalities of public comment or social media, whether typed, written or spoken. And if there is any questions, like Brian said, get a hold of somebody on staff, Debbie Bigger or somebody.
right.
But it's very important now with social media in the limelight right now with bullying and everything else and politics and fake news and all this stuff on social media. Please, everybody, read this. And if you don't understand it, please question it and get it straight and maybe keep it down for notes. But it is very important, especially as, like Brian said, elected or appointed officials. Because we're speaking for the village and the taxpayers here that put us here. So everybody should really study this really close. And I'm sure administration will update us on any new news of this social media stuff. So,
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a couple
Yeah.
cases working through the court, so it's sort of a moving target right now.
yeah,
Best to just,
it's just gone a little too far, in my opinion. Okay, any questions or comments on that?
No, I'll read it again.
Yeah, me too.
it's a lot of stuff about the OMA, basically, so that you're not violating the Open Meetings Act.
Exactly, yeah, especially that.
And things that are now open to FOIAs, like your private messages on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Those all fall under that category, so you gotta be
And
careful.
people gotta remember that when they get on their smartphones and their computers, the whole world is watching. It isn't just here or there or anything else. It's the whole world. So, yeah, be careful. Okay, any further comments or questions on that? Let's move on to reports.
I
Brian?
did receive the bill for the equipment for the new Lakeside Park, so that's being paid for out of ARPA funds. I did leave him a message trying to find out, try to get it pinned down an installation date when we have to remove the old equipment, and the status of the warranted slide that is still, we're trying to get that replaced up there too. So hopefully we can get that all done as one. And then late this afternoon, I got an email from the county about their grant program through Oakland County Parks, so I'm gonna do some review of that and, see if there's any information or any, if anything that we qualify when you guys bring back. Looks like the application's April 21st, so if we have something that's brought up on April 5th, and I can try to tie that in there, and that might give, we'll have an idea of what we're looking for. And I want to say there was, I read it pretty quick, and I want to say there's a little over $500,000 that they're offering up for it. It was between, oh, I'm sorry, this cycle has $650,000 for 2023. So I didn't look at all the particulars, I just printed this out. So if anybody wants a copy of it, I can forward it to them, or just give me an email. And then, once we get a budget thing, that gives us, it doesn't look like it's a huge, application. So if we get something that we can maybe qualify for that would help us out too, so.
Have you looked into the Spark grants too? That's through just the state.
Yeah, I know, I did see something, David Losing posted, because I get the emails.
Yeah, because
that
they
the
should have
Spark
their
grant-
second and third round, I think,
Yeah,
this
so
year.
I haven't checked on that, but this just came today, so I wanted to
Okay.
update that, and then, the deadline gives us time after the next meeting to try to get it.
So do you know if there is a matching funds?
I
or-
just printed it out. I
Okay.
did- I just, some quick things. I think there is some matching fund, and it looks like it's based on a point system.
Okay.
So everything you do, it looks like there's, 0 to 5 points for each thing. It's location and ownership, design, history, background, community need. Looks like there's about 13 things that can be scored out from a 0 to 5
Right.
type thing, so.
Okay.
Good. Any other further reports, Brian?
No, we're just waiting for the weather to break so we can start working in the cemetery and the parks again, so.
Okey-doke. Okay, let's move on to board members' comments. Amber?
Like I said, I'm just working on this Ganshaw H. I will continue to advertise our cleanup. And I do want to get with a couple of the businesses around here too, just to see. I know the donut shop usually gives some donuts, but maybe hit up a couple others for lunch, like a pizza or tacos or something.
Taco
And-
Bell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got to figure out if they're corporate or if they're independently owned.
But
I
they're
think
new
it's a
they're new to
franchise.
the area, so
Okay,
they
it is okay.
they're new to the area, so they gotta ante up. Okay, they gotta catch up to everybody else. Is that all?
And that's it.
Okay, Chris,
Nothing to add.
thank you for the bird
Yeah,
thing coming up. That's really good.
yeah. Hope
Gail?
it goes good.
Nope, nothing right at this moment.
Shannon?
I just want to say thanks for having me on. This is my first meeting. I'm glad to be here. Let me know if you need help with the H.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
down.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
So, yeah, let me know about that. I would love to jump in on whatever, but thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, that leaves me some closing comments. I'm glad to be the chair. I'm glad to help out. I'm glad to see everybody do their homework. We got a real exciting year coming up. Lots gonna happen in this town. It's going, and we're all part of it. And I'd like to thank you all for being part of Parks here in the village. That's my end of my comments. I adjourn the meeting at
7:25.
7:30.